Peace. It's Travis Sotawell. It's Pure Sound Daily Business. We move you from confusion about your options into the success framework and self-mastery. Today, we're going to talk about making connections. Really, this is all the system that we've created here. The success framework, the Pure Sound method. We tie in psychological type, which is really where my particular journey started out. Me saying, this online education business is cool. And at the first time I experienced group coaching was in a personality type class. Shout outs to Personality Hacker. From there, I experienced more. We start talking about business principles, which is the other core part of the Pure Sound method. Business principles are success principles. Of course, this is where the success framework comes in. That these are the two main parts. It's the foundation of building prosperity. The foundation of getting on the path of purpose finding you. You could say creating a paradigm so purpose can find you. And unlocking your genius. So with personality type, making connections, understanding myself, that is a talent I have. It's a frequency I got turned up high. It's pattern recognition, especially mental pattern, intellectual pattern recognition. The other frequency I got turned up is progress, accomplishment, success. And these have names in the psychological type. Carl Jung's theory. They have titles for those frequencies, as I call them. So I'm starting a new language. I want to advance the language of psychological type. I'm using the word frequencies. And I'm looking to build a culture. A culture of a collective, a school of people that wish to be masters of themselves. Which the lowest level of mastery is leadership. So everything here is for you as an individual. I believe it all starts with the individual and your individual growth and development and becoming a leader of yourself. Living your life, leading yourself, walking the path and actually living, experiencing your life. You only got this one and this time to live. If your beliefs are you're coming back at another time, well, you're not coming back at this time. It's only this time. And I think in this time we're in, for my personality type, especially INTJ, I think this is one of the greatest times to be an INTJ. Because it's about scale and scope. How much are we scaling and how big is our scope? With the internet right now, we can scale and scope our vision to the size of the world, to the scope of beyond our life. Which I think the most important part is the scale part. Scaling it to have a message that we can reach out and touch the world with. Because making these connections, why it's a special skill is because most people don't make the connections that we make. So I have a certain personality type, certain way that I am, that I reach. That's what a lot of people will call it. Oh, you reaching. Gonna throw your shoulder out, you reaching so far. But I see the connections between different disciplines. As I said, business principles. Some people will just say, oh, those are just business principles. That's for business. Where I say, no, these are for success. These are for any kind of achievement. And you can't just take them straight up. Depending on the circumstance and situation, it needs to be phrased differently. There needs to be a different spin on it. But business principles principles of accomplishment, psychological type, understanding yourself, getting your brain's ownership manual, spiritual architecture, literally understanding how the unseen forces of the universe work. And no one of those unseen forces is these frequencies, these energetic channels, these frequencies of mental thinking. They're different frequencies. There's 8 of them. One of them is accomplishment. Another one is administration. Another one is human connection. Another one is emotions. And on and on. Another one is the subconscious. Another one is connections. So we have different frequencies that exist. We can't see these things. We really experience them. And then we have these frequencies turned up to where we're experiencing our experience based on which of these frequencies we have turned up the loudest. Spiritual architecture shows us how from the mind we create. We have thoughts, we take action, we speak a language. This creates our reality. Not only how we see our own life, but how we see life in general, how we look at other people, judge what they do, understand what they do, reason what they do, as well as put our will into reality. And story structure. One of the basic fundamental points of psychology is narrative. Called narrative bias. We're all telling ourselves a story. That story we're telling ourselves. Like if we have a favorite genre, let's say, like these are my favorite type of stories. That's what psychological type is telling us. My favorite type of story is INTJ storytelling. That's how I experience the world. That's the story I'm telling myself that I'm experiencing my life. All these things are so you can be a mastermind. You can have master over your mind. And if you can master your mind, well, then you can master your body. You can master your actions. You can master your speech. And therefore, you can do and say and think whatever you want and be control over it. You can have control over your life. This isn't a diagnosis. I think what I've seen, especially in the personality type community and just in general, when we're talking about podcasts and YouTube, it's a diagnosis culture. It's telling you what something is, defining the thing. But there's a higher level than that. The highest level is implementing it, putting it into action, creation. We are creators. And you make your own life. You have to understand how these things work. What I found is that at maximum, most people only stop there. They don't give you direction and guidance. They don't hold you by the hand. And if you look up to the definition of leadership and what a leader is, a leader leads. A leader guides. A leader guides as holding the hand of a child. In our spiritual school of thought, we say the teacher treads the way with footprints cleanly cut, that the students may follow. And I always say, my definition of a leader is that a leader leads. You're out there in front. You're doing the things. You're not only pointing the way, you're leading the way. You're walking the path. Now, we can't walk anyone else's path. We walk our own path. That's how we lead. And that's what Pure Sound Daily Business is all about. The daily business of becoming a master of becoming a mastermind and understanding the different connections we need to make mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually to become a mastermind and leave behind a legacy. So what moves you making today? Talked about the daily minimums for maximum. How are you filling up those accounts? Those 4 accounts of your physical, your mental, your emotional, and your spiritual. Are you filling up those accounts every day? Because by filling up those accounts, you're filling up your way to mastery. Travis Soda, it's Pure Sound Daily Business. Peace.